What's up guys, it's Monopoly Drip here. In this video, we'll be looking at the history of one of the most famous streetwear brands coming from the UK, Trapstar. Before we get into the video, you guys might be wondering what this channel is about, as this is the first video that will be uploaded onto the channel. This channel will primarily bring you content regarding what's trending in the UK, whether it be gossip, music or fashion. However, as our brand Monopoly Drip comes from the fashion genre, it only makes sense for our first video to cover the UK's hottest clothing brand. Please feel free to like and subscribe if this appeals to you, and as we get into the video, leave your comments below regarding your thoughts on what is discussed. I'll be checking them and looking to reply. Also, many of you guys will be coming from my Instagram page Monopoly Drip, but if you happen to find this page from the YouTube algorithm, feel free to find me on Instagram. Finally, for the beat used in this video, check out my guy, Essay on the Beat. Let's now get into the story of Trapstar. The name itself, Trapstar, rings bells across all of Europe. I don't know about the whole country, but if you're able to step out in places like London, Birmingham or Manchester, you'll be able to see the distinctive logo being worn by a member of the public. From what we see now, the numerous drops being sold out, celebrities endorsing their brand, and collabs with famous rappers, it will be easy to say that Trapstar has been booming, especially in the most recent years. But it took many years of hard work and grafting for Trapstar to get into the position it is in today. Trapstar consists of three owners, Mikey, Lee and Will. These three are responsible for bringing some of the coldest clothing the UK has seen. In terms of what they have achieved, Trapstar is seen being worn by global icons. This list includes Rihanna, Jay-Z and Paul Pogba. In terms of collaborations, they have worked together with Central C, providing merchandise for his Wild West mixtape. Now they are seen all over the youth of the UK and Europe. This sparks the £1 million question. How did a streetwear brand created by three youths end up becoming one of the biggest brands in the world? The beginnings of Trapstar go back to 2005. Where Mikey, alongside the co-founders Lee and Will, decided to create something special. At the time, they shared a common interest in style, sneakers and music. During the late 90s and garage era, brands like Versace and Moschino were heavily intertwined into the culture. They originally began making their own customized tees to essentially compete and outdo one another, and inject a sense of individuality into their garments. Word quickly spread around their local area of West London. Their work was so good that they had friends threatening to bootleg their designs if they didn't start selling the bespoke pieces. What followed was a conversation with Lee's stepfather. He described them as hood celebrities trapped in the system. Unsettled by this comment, Mikey challenged him by responding that there's a star trapped in all of us. In that moment, the brand gained its identity and Trapstar as a label was born. Around this time, Facebook and YouTube were in their infancy, and Instagram was years away from being created. Nowadays, we see social media as a heavy marketing tool for clothing brands. However, this was very difficult in the given circumstances at the time. The Trapstar trio had to come up with an innovative way to sell their products, and so they utilised MySpace, which was the most popular social networking site at the time. Clothing could be purchased via a simple direct message or a text to the brand's trap phone. Payment and pickup would then be arranged and collected at a secret location, distributed in pizza boxes, in telephone kiosks, and sometimes even car booths. Trapstar played on their "It's a Secret" trademark, managing to keep their identities concealed, and even to this day, they don't allow photos exposing their full faces to be published. The secrecy around their brand created a buzz, and therefore, a huge number of orders followed. Drops would sell out fast, making pieces even more desirable. As Trapstar slowly became more successful and demand increased, the three owners decided that they wanted to expand. This sounds easy, but the decision was initially met with a negative response. In the beginning, no one wanted us to win, Mikey explains, and no one wanted us in the industry, so instead of knocking down doors, we had to build our own. Their big break came when they were offered a weekend pop-up slot. This was the first of what would be known as Trapstar invasions. Stores would only want brands who were getting major press, so our whole concept was to invade, says Lee. We were the super underdogs within the streetwear community at a time when there was no separation between the UK market and the rest of the world. You simply had to be able to hold your own against the bigger brands. A series of invasions, including a roadblock pop-up at 1948 London, alongside the highly anticipated Yeezy launch in 2009, led to Trapstar opening their flagship store on Portobello Road a year later. In the most recent years, you can appreciate their list of achievements. This includes an investment from Jay-Z's Roc Nation, a stint as the official merch designers for Rihanna's Monster Tour, a Puma collaboration, and a co-sign from one of the most famous rappers in the UK, Stormzy. Stormzy was actually wearing Trapstar underwear, which was highly visible in his iconic Glastonbury performance. This helped to catapult the brand. We never looked to artists to keep us relevant, but we've maintained personal relationships with them. They've introduced us to a whole new audience, Mikey emphasizes. As previously mentioned, Paul Pogba was also seen wearing the brand. A world-class footballer, especially one who's world famous and a celebrity outside football, endorsing such a brand to the youth of the world is a huge success for any brand and shows how far they've come. The organic link between music and streetwear has provided this sort of connection. I feel like we're going through a renaissance right now, where the UK underground scene now controls what happens in popular culture, Mikey infuses. It's great to see artists making a living from doing what they love. They are now becoming millionaires, selling out venues and buying houses for their mothers. It goes way beyond just fashion, Mikey says. It's bigger than that. The reason we are here today is because a particular culture has supported us. We started at the bottom and worked hard to get where we are. We now have a responsibility to give back. We have to make sure we keep the culture alive. In the last couple of years, they have also collaborated heavily with the fastest growing rapper in the UK, Central C. Central C holds a huge commercial appeal in Europe and the rest of the world. This collab provides immense exposure since a lot of the youth take inspiration from Central C's dress sense and try copy his style. With him endorsing Trapstar heavily and even providing shoutouts regularly, it is fair to say this has also increased their growth within the last few years. At the time of recording, Trapstar has 570,000 followers on Instagram. Hopefully they continue to grow and expand in the coming years as they have the potential to. Personally, I feel as if they have almost got the appeal as a sort of designer brand. As we all know, it's so hard to cop an item of clothing during their drops. This is because the demand is so high. Therefore, with their drops being limited, their apparel has got a more authentic and luxury appeal towards it. I think if they capitalize on this, they will continue growing and be successful for many more years to come. If you guys enjoyed the content of this video, make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay posted on what's trending in the UK.